Welcome back to my YouTube chit chat. My name is Senior Zach and this is my YouTube channel. So guys, there are mixed reaction, and the mixed reaction on this YouTube street, it's at the backdrop of Mr. Cecil and its Gintu meeting, and such kind of meetups didn't go well with the majority of people, both the positive and the negative. You know, both the opposing side, very few of it agreed with it and applauded it, but majority of it are still having trust issues, basically on both sides. While the one opposite side, the negative gang, are casting doubts of such kind of meetups. And it's the same thing that also the positive sides. Others are casting doubts and they don't trust it's Gintu. Others have even swore that it's Gintu should never see the backyard of MR again. Same to the lazy gang, they're saying, no, it's Gintu must not be bought. If at all Miss Gintu was bought, I don't know, and I'm not privy to any kind of information. And I don't know the reasons why they're coming to be bought. Are they having something on Marwa such that they feel if it's Gintu goes and meet Mr. Cecil, then it's a matter of being bought? You know, that's the trajectory that these people have been thinking about, because they like buying people. So they thought if any time somebody is called up to a meeting, or somebody decides to go a meeting or decamp elsewhere, then somebody is paid. So that's a fact that I had to bring it out going forward. So guys, in our today's discussion and discourse going forward, we want to look at the reasons for this meeting. And this kind of illustration will be illustrated using some short videos to drive in the point one by one and put everything into perspective. So guys, without further ado, if you're coming across this video for the very first time, kindly click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, YouTube shall notify you instantly. My loyal subscriber, may God bless you abundantly. So let's dive in deep after a moment. Welcome back to my YouTube chit chat. My name is Senior Zach and this is my YouTube channel. So guys, let's dive in, lest we forget. So guys, I want to give a disclaimer. The fact that it's Gintu is meeting with Mr. Cecil doesn't erase all the atrocity that is Gintu has ever meted against the innocent people, the innocent Amara. Amara is not perfect. Other flaws sometimes existed. But once you're friends and friendship, things must be ironed out. The same way Mr. is Gintu say meticulously. You reach a brother, call a brother, and then you discuss rather than going a wall. So on such kind of negative backdrop, negative vexation itself, I'm saying the issues of vexation, more of it were lies. That's still a fact, and I'm still having that opinion that it's Gintu was tyrant. It's Gintu is still dodging police even up to now. Some kind of allegation Miss Gintu has said it's being called up to the police still now. So at this point, I want to give you the reasons as to why it's Gintu and Cecil's meeting. The reasons why it was very important for other people. And it was very important going forward. Well, without further ado, let's watch this video below. Then I will come
much
and
of the
put
things about the
into
land grab right now of the road that was graded yesterday from the main point, which is the main junction, to Maro Villa. And the real fact, I've just passed through that position. What I can just tell and what I can just tell you is there's no land grab I've seen there. And you know, both parties, they came together. And both parties, they were told that, do you allow that this road should pass here? Because I've intervened much of the people, I've intervened how the way is going. But what I've seen is much of the respect sometimes is about yesterday the grader came and it graded that road, and the people are talking about that mother is crying whenever I passed there, because even me, I had such kind of a cry. I passed through there, but I never found any kind of miscellaneous or land grab, because I saw the road, it's measuring it was around 3 meters. I think it's 3 meters, and it is 3 meters from the first to the finish point of the villa. And the people talking about the mother is crying about the land. I've passed there, guys. I could have given you the real fact. I've seen it. It's now trending about the land grab. No. There's no land grab there. And to this point, I can say that there's no land grab. It's just taking place up to that position. Not that I'm taking this position to say that Kenge is somebody who is good. But it's not the courtesy of Kenge, it was courtesy of the Cecil, the Jamaican guy, who is just on the villa making sure that he's promoting the village too. And I think one person cannot say that the land has been taken to his position from her position, but the real fact is that land, how it is, everyone is now benefiting, because it's measuring from one point to another, and the entrance of the people penetrating to make sure that they're entering into the certain their homes there. And I think the road was very good, because I've intervened much of the people. Even I've passed through that mother, I've got the guy, and they're talking about they have done a very meticulous job, because the road was shaggy, it was bad. Now it's renovated and it's graded well. Now they can pass, and I think it's achievement that they have made unto that village. One of the best achievement I've seen, on top of everything they have ever done. And unto this, the only person who was very fake was the Didi uncle, who came and did something what was not good, grabbing the land. And that's how I want to go straight to the point. Whenever it's straight to the point, let's call it a spoon.
That video why Mr. Gintu earned his own ticket to meet Mr. Cecil, while the rest of the negative gang started spinning a propaganda that was not well sitting with the grading of the road. It only took its Gintu from the negative gang to come and correct that narrative itself. For once, its Gintu was in tandem with the positive reactors, and that kind of a thought was well intended indeed. It was spot on. So something that also really caused a spark even to us saying, you mean it's Gintu can really speak positive for once? I think this is something that Cecil's attention was brought to, and watched that video, then said, well, this man must be called up, and this man has earned a ticket for us to have a discussion towards the greater Nyaboanze, the communal bigger picture going forward, because Mr. Cecil wants to include everybody, not to leave everybody alone. You know, the positive energy, because there is no need of having a communal project. Then there is no that things we call the sense of ownership. People will still sabotage it. And Mr. Cecil wants, whenever he puts up any kind of a project, then it is a community owned, then a communal kind of acceptance that is of the greater good of everyone in the society. You know, that simple statement itself, because sometimes I usually tell people, always be positive all the time, because you don't know who is watching. So I think on that basis alone, they have to meet. They have to meet going forward, on which I'm finding it was very well merited and well in tandemly with Mr. Cecil's aspiration itself, because it's of a communal kind of a thing that is going to also contemplated that. He went all around, he surveyed it, I interviewed people, and letting only when the lazy gang knows that there is no land that was grabbed, because the lazy gang were even inciting Percy, inciting the Bushman's mother to go a wall, to start a narrative that was not well pleasing. And other people were even ready to mint money from Mr. Cecil's of doing particular kind of roads, citing other kind of laws that were not making sense, big time. So I think this alone made Mr. Cecil happy and decided to call Gintu on a physical meeting. Why such meeting was so important to Gintu and majority of people, and also to Gintu itself, and the greater good of Nyabohanze. is about Gintu's redirection and nurturing by Cecils. And I'm going to explain that one with this video.
If there's anything that you need and I can afford to do it, you got my support.
Fantastic.
I want to say it again.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you need for your platform,
and
I can afford to do it, don't hesitate to ask.
Exactly.
I'll try to help you, because if I'm helping your platform, you also have to help me on my platform too.
Yeah, sure.
So I might be able to help you on a different aspect, from a different aspect.
Yeah.
But there's things that you can do on the ground that can also help me too.
Exactly.
So when you see those knuckleheads talking about things that is, they're accentuating negativity, and they're trying to put people down, you can do something to stop that.
Yeah.
Because you're very influential in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we can work both hand in hand. So I say to you now, if you get yourself in a position where you're supplying these needs and you need the help and you can use the support and I am able to do it, you got my number.
Fantastic. It's gonna be very fantastic, guys, and I wanna be updating you much about what is coming onto this platform, because it's now the beginning, not yet even at the middle.
But any other kind of assistance that Gintu wants, in all his channel and all his philanthropic programs, he must count on Churchill. If Mr. Cecil can really help, really means Mr. Cecil wants to redirect Gintu's energy and nurture Gintu's towards the greater good of all the community, so that this village ranting, this village negativism, this village kind of vexations, tell one and gossiping that are not making sense, so that Gintu could be put back to railment, not to derail any other kind of a process. So this is the direction that I think Mr. Cecil saw after Gintu did that video. So he wants to give Gintu's kind of a redirection, because Gintu is having a wasted energy, so erotic that such kind of energy could not be wasted just for gossip, could not be wasted just for running up and down when police are knocking his door every time. I think that this direction was well intended, and if Gintu is meaning it, and that's why Mr. Cecil is betting on Gintu, that I can use you as well to reach the other greater people that believes in you. While it's also already captured the amorous people that will be reaching amorous side and reaching these Gintu's people. So which means he wants to reach every other kind of distinctive kind of groups in all her positive change, all her philanthropic programs that are well intended for the communal good.
So I
think
appreciation
that
of
one
what you did a couple of 2 days ago. I can just talk about
what did I do?
I talk about the grading of that road.
Yeah.
The grading of that road.
Yeah.
It was so fantastic.
You saw me operating that grader?
I saw, but due to unconditional circumstances, do you know how to ride it, or you are?
No,
just,
I know how to operate the backhoe. I've never been a grader. I know how to operate the backhoe and the front end loader.
Oh, the backhoe one. Okay, and I saw it was meticulous, and the grader did a very fantastic job, and that's why I talked about. I passed through there because I heard much of the people talking about this and this and this and this. I was about. I have to go there, verify my own self, and see what is happening. So whenever I passed there, I saw some crowd of people there, 2-3 people. I talked to them, what's the problem here and there. I was about, maybe you don't know what's development. And whenever it comes to the development, I cannot lie there, because development is what we need. And mostly that road is connected to much of the homesteads. And also we have people who are harvesting, talk about maybe some people harvesting tobacco, some people harvesting maize, which is the corns, some people harvesting beans. So it will be very easy for them to transport them to their home. And also there are people who don't have even We can talk about the boreholes, talk about the wells, so they can just use that road to the river and go fetch water. And even you can use a motorbike. Pastly, you cannot use a motorbike to pass there to the river. And I talk about it's very, very awesome for such kind of a platform that you brought, and I think that's very kudos for you. And for everyone who has just take our part of the team and making sure that such kind of a development is coming, we're going to be supporting such kind of the things, and also support the environment, and also our people who are just to the village to grow. Nyabuhanse is always one.
To himself to applaud Mr. Cecil's on his face what Mr. Cecil did, and already affirmed it that it was a good work. He couldn't go negative on such kind of a project because it's a communal project, something that Lazy Gang cannot applaud, something Lazy Gang have started to spin a negative information that the land, the road was constructed, was grabbed, totally out of order, you know. So it was that. So when you combine all those three videos, there's another three additional kind of lessons we can learn. One, the influential Gintu's factor. You know, Gintu itself is also influential. There are other people who also come up to him for other kind of expose. So this is the Gintu's influential factor that Mr. Cecil also wants to tap into, and for a greater good of the community, because when it's Gintu will come and start speaking against the project, therefore other community will rebel. So everything must also be brought, because Gintu was not made for a gossiper, because the Gintu energy also must be redirected and must also be used for prudent kind of an action. It's not always gossiping that the Lazy Gang always want its Gintu just to do gossip and negative content within the society. This is something that Mr. Cecil was saying, no, this energy must also be redirected going forward. So the influential Gintu's factor must also be tapped in, so that everybody must be brought on the board, so that the bigger picture must be achieved by force. Sometimes you need to reduce to the level of a negative thinker, so that you think like them at the same time, so that you drive your point into them, sometimes by force. You know, there's another philosopher who once said that the difficulties, we do it very fast, and the impossible might take a little bit longer, but at the end, it must be achieved. And that is the direction Mr. Cecil, the Trenchtownboy, has embarked on. So it's just a matter of a time to study Gintu, whether Gintu will be allowed or will allow himself to be nurtured or to go a wall. So it's upon Gintu, but Mr. Cecil is ready to work with him going forward, not to work in him in a manner that is disparaging Amara. It's to work in him in harmony with the Amara's group going forward, because now we are dealing with the community itself. So this is the bigger picture that people weren't understanding. Now people can understand going forward. Another one, it was also creating change. You know, change is always gradual. Change is not rapid. And that's why it must also start with self-awareness. And information also must be given outside there. That's why Gintu also was brought on board, so that the sense could be put to him, so that he could avoid creating havoc and sensationalizing things that were not making sense big time. I think it was time Mr. Cecil saw that and decided, now I'm just going to meet Gintu, whether it will be hard for both the positive and the negative people, but they have just to meet for the better good of the community going forward. And the last one, I think Mr. Cecil wanted his own understanding without being told. He wanted to understand the dynamic of the Nyabuhanse community and the Nyabuhanse people. The other things that he's seen on camera, which are so negative, other things he's been told, but now he was embarking on an expedition of finding the facts, such that going forward, you would know the multiplicity of dynamic kind of character, thoughts, ideas, of personality, then going forward, he will put that one in mind that this is how to organize people with their temperament, with their behavior, to create change and to bring in change within that community, which is fact finding, which I find it so fine sometimes. Better get to understand what you're being told, but also by sides go and fact find, then you intermarry this kind of the message as you move forward. Because if you want to serve the greater part of the community, therefore, what Mr. Cecil did was good. Whether Gintu will play ball or not play ball, it's another story. And also independent also with the external factor, that is the lazy gang who are now telling it's Gintu, stop it, don't do it going forward. Don't do it going forward. Because the lazy gang also castigating it's Gintu why Miss Gintu went for that meeting. Others are calling it bait. Others are calling it's Gintu is been bought. Maybe Miss Gintu has been given money, of which I'm not privy to that information. The lazy gang is in front of buying people so that they think they maybe Gintu was bought. No, I've just explained Gintu and that ticket to meet Mr. Cecil because on that very kind of nature going forward. Guys, such kind of a meeting, despite that meeting causing uproar and misreaction, there is an objective that meeting caused. Because Mr. Cecil also is so smart guy. There was a message that Mr. Cecil wants to send to the people abroad, to the people with the Nyamohanze, and all the fanatics of all the groups, both for Marwa and all the lazy gang. And there is a manner in which this meeting achieved such kind of particular kind of objective going forward. Objective number one, negativity is meant. So negativity is meant because, negativity was so full throttle and rented the airspace of Nyamohanze. So these are the things that was even hindering the philanthropic programs also be created. You also, with the road that was created and other groups and segment people started inciting each other that this road should not be here, this road must be paid so that this road must pass. This road is not for the communal development of Nyabanzi because it's headed in Ayamarwa's villa. Hey, oh gosh. So the negativity itself couldn't let Mr. Cecil to do his philanthropic program in peace because other people are. The same people you want to gift are talking bad about you. The same people you want to gift are talking bad about everything because others have even started that these things are from cult. These things are from devil worshippers because you are seeing on a camera. Other community people don't want to come because they said YouTube itself is Illuminati. So such kind of meeting was good because influential factor of its Gintu had to be brought on board so that the negativity is meant should dissipate. And a little bit itself, it dissipated. Go look at all the lazy gang reaction. It dissipated. Now, things could be, to redirect people's thought, to redirect the conversations that has been taking place on the social media. Now, people are talking on the communal bigger picture. And who started the communal bigger picture is Ayamarwa. Now, Cecil is implementing the same. Number two, another objective is the communal bigger picture itself. The communal bigger picture itself is now being implemented because the two groups must also be brought together for the own betterment of the society. When the two elephants are fighting, the grass is the one that is feeling the heat. So who are the grass are the community people who are so needy that needed to be helped going forward. I think this is the best trajectory and the objective that this meeting wanted to achieve. And the last one is the community entry points. The community entry points for those who did sociology itself. When you want to go to a community, maybe to create a change, to help, there are the community entry points. The chiefs, the elders, the influential people, the leaders. So the first community point is Ayamarwa brought these philanthropic programs back home. That is one. But there is the other opposite group. That the one person heading that opposite group in the village who is so influential, it is Gintu. So it's going to have to be reached so that its people also could know and could benefit and partake at the same altar that's being provided for this kind of a noble idea and a noble philanthropic programs, so that nobody is left behind. Either if you don't do community entry point so well, therefore sometimes you might be rejected in that community. Sometimes your project also might be opposed. So those were the objective that was being achieved going forward. So at the phase that it was televised live, it was on a greater good, and it sent a good picture going forward. So guys, the lazy gang are also threatening Isgintu. Others have said they're just waiting for Isgintu. If Isgintu will go positive, they will unsubscribe. And that's one also got me thinking. I thought the Amaros fanatics are the one who being accused of always unsubscribing for other people's channel. And again, now I see it, the lazy gang, now preaching the same. So which means they will always go against every other kinds of their single squawk of fear that they utter. They are now doing the same. I thought they would behave so better. I thought they would behave so better. So it's also a matter of time that we also must give a benefit of doubt for Gintu. Whether Gintu will play ball or not play ball, that's another thing, because external factors are also forcing it Gintu to be giving them the gossip rather than joining the frail of philanthropy. So it's also upon Gintu to decide which thing is good for him. Is it gossip? Is it creating havoc and divide? Or is it engaging in a platform of positivity and transforming the society in a positive way? So let me know what you're thinking. Will Gintu play the ball? Or will Gintu go a wall again and disparage Mr. Cecil going forward? Which way, Mr. Gintu? Because Mr. Cecil have decided. Will this one create an impact within the society? And what is the thought of the lazy gang? If at all you're a lazy gang, you're watching, drop your comment at the comment section. To my loyal subscriber, you are free also to drop your thought at the comment section. Until next time, this is Senior Zach.